So last night, or this morning, I woke up like a 5 something and just could not go back to bed. I mean, I normally wake up right around 7 to 7:30. I work like 3 miles away, so I can be there in 10 minutes in traffic. So, man, I just could not sleep. And I'm just like laying there, and I'm having like all these thoughts about, the bankers, the banking system, the CFTC, the manipulation, just all these different thoughts and, all these things we already know about just hitting me at once. I can't stop thinking about them. And from 5:30, 40, whatever in the morning till, I don't know, about 7 or so, I was just never really got back to sleep and was tossing and turning and just thinking about it. I mean, I wasn't really like bothered, as if something just happened and they blatantly did it in front of us and I'm pissed off. Nothing's happened lately. I don't know where it came from, but I just was like all on my mind for some reason this morning. But having said all that, I know y'all heard over the last few days regarding the MF Global scandal with Mr. ex-Goldman CEO of Goldman Sachs, who was the current CEO of MF Global, Mr. Jon the Turd Burglar Corzine, member of, as Gerald Celente says, the White Shoe Boy Club. And it turns out the emails that have been subpoenaed and read aloud finally, that Mr. Corzine not only knew customer funds were going to be used to pay a shortfall in one of JP Morgan's accounts that it owed JP Morgan. Not only did he know that was the fact, and yes, they were using customer funds, and he claimed, well, I didn't know, I never heard about it, didn't come to me, I don't know. Not only did that happen, but he signed off on it. It had to get signed off by him because the email stated, basically, per Jon Corzine, JC as they call it, JC gave the okay, whatever, do it. And naturally, if you never touch your customer funds, except, one of the boys, the club, needs help, we made some bets that we couldn't make good on, so to speak. They were bad bets. We lost big time. See, and that's the thing. This isn't fully investigated yet. The information's still not there. Are we going to find out that they did, in fact, bet on some kind of European debt? It didn't go the way they planned. They lost the money. Sorry about your luck. Because part of this is that I guess they had to go through JP Morgan to move the funds around. And JP Morgan basically got a margin call. And it was 160 million at first, and then the second margin call came and it was whatever it was, 200, a little over 200 million. And that's when Jon Corzine gave the okay to go ahead and put the funds in there. So was Jon Corzine helping JP Morgan? Or was Jon Corzine with MF Global helping MF Global because MF Global did in fact bet on bad debt, lost that bet, used the customer funds to make that bet? Because that's not what it's looking like. It's looking like they made a bet before they had the customer funds in their possession. They made the bet with their own funds, which is the right way to do it. Lost, but it should have only affected their funds, which it did at first. Which again is the right way to do it because your customer funds are safe. But then JP Morgan, maybe on MF Global's good credit, good buddy list, reasoning, whatever, allowed them to let the transaction go through, which they lost on that bet. Now they've got to cover the transaction. Oh crap, JP Morgan got its money because it fronted us the money, so to speak, to make that bet. So now we got to pay JP Morgan back. So in reality, what would happen, or should happen, legally speaking, is that MF Global tells that JP Morgan, look, I know you're fronting us this money, but I just went bankrupt. Just like if you had a futures contract with some broker, whoever it may be, you're playing it and, hey, I'm winning, this is good, life is good, man, you could leverage these things, God, you can make some money quick. Wow, this is great. And then all of a sudden, price of whatever it is you're betting on goes down. Oh my God, I just lost everything. My account's cleaned out and I'm getting a margin call. It went down way below my stops. It went way below the amount of money I had in the account. Oh my God, now I'm getting margin calls from my broker telling me I need to come up with some money. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you don't have. Well, he's gonna go after you and try to get it. Legally, through the courts, etc. You owe it, they're gonna go after you. But you have an option. Just file bankruptcy. If you file bankruptcy, there's nothing that brokerage house is going to be able to do. Just like no credit card company or anybody else is going to be able to do anything. You file bankruptcy, it's washed out. Have a nice day. So in theory, MF Global should have immediately filed bankruptcy and told JP Morgan, sorry about that. We were using you basically as our brokerage house. You have the big funds. You can do the international transfers and all that stuff for us. You on behalf of me allowed this whole thing to go through, just like the brokerage houses do when you get a futures contract. Same thing, which is why they can close your account at any time. And if the price goes down and below your stops, they can liquidate your account at the current market price and say, well, this is what we got for it. That's what the market paid. It's way below, and I don't care if today, the next day, the market goes right back up. It doesn't matter. It's all programmed. It's all on the computer. It went down at that moment. Our triggers kicked in. We sold your account. It's gone. Your contract, it's gone. You now owe us money. We don't care about that. So what should have happened, MF Global tells JP Morgan, sorry, went bankrupt, have a nice day. But instead, because JP Morgan's one of the boys, and Jon Corzine was the CEO of Goldman Sachs, for God's sakes, and everywhere you look, it's Goldman Sachs here, Goldman Sachs there, JP Morgan here, and all these governmental positions across the freaking planet, and especially in America, it's part of the club. So what do? One of my family, my boys, I wronged them on a bet that I normally have the legal right to go bankrupt and tell them, sorry, man, it was nice doing business while we were friends, but I'm sorry, things happened. It just happened. Instead of that, I've got an idea. There's already a deficit in the account, 160 billion. Now it's over 200 million. What do I do? Oh, we've got millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in our customer accounts. The guys we've made money off of all these years. I've got my millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in bonuses and paychecks, all because of my customers, not because of JP Morgan, all because of my customers. So I'm going to take my customers, my bread and butter, my customers' accounts, give me that money over here, direct deposit that immediately over into JP Morgan's deficit account, 200 million. JP Morgan's happy, I paid them back when I should have went bankrupt, but I didn't. Now that I stole the customer funds, now I'm going bankrupt. So that the customers get screwed and the customers decide, we're going to sue you, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, that's fine. Go ahead, we're bankrupt. Have a nice day. You can get whatever's left of the carcass of MF Global. I'm out of here. And JP Morgan's made whole. So when you make a move like that, that is, I don't even know what the proper felony conviction or title of it would be. But I think it's a pretty much a no-brainer that it's an absolute felony at the highest level for you to knowingly say, I overdrafted my bank account. Crap, I'm going to get hit with late fees and this and that. Let me take someone else's money, make whole with the bank, close my bank account, they're happy, and then these people can go after me. If you are taking someone's money for that purpose, it wasn't just we accidentally mixed the funds, it was an accounting error, etc. Because if it's an accounting error and it was just a mistake, well, then they can get out of it. But there's a little problem. Jon Corzine, the email states he gave the okay, he pulled the trigger, he gave the green light, do it. Take the money out of the customer accounts to make JP Morgan's account full or flush. That's a big difference because at that point you are knowingly taking people's money, not just an accounting error. You gave the okay to pull money out of their accounts and give it to this guy over here. There has got to be some major, because he gave the okay, because he was the CEO, he gave the green light, he gave the order, do it. That man immediately should be in prison right now. There is enough right now for them to grab him, detain him, put him in cuffs, and go to prison. Excuse me. But there's not even a whimper out of law enforcement at the federal level, because that's where this has to go. It's not going to be a local cop. It's not going to be your sheriff going and getting Jon Corzine. It's a federal level. It's a crime. So we have the boys in charge of prosecuting the boys. And, I mean, it's got to be the FBI and, of course, you know, Eric Holder, who shipped guns over to Mexico drug lords for them to come back and kill 2 of our law enforcement officers. He's not in jail either. Well, what do you think? The Justice Department's going to go after itself? A snake eating itself, right? The Justice Department's going to go and get itself? The head of it? No. As Gerald Celente says, I love that guy. Justice. Say it, sound it out. Just us. Not for them. Justice is for just us. The little guys, the peasants, the consumer, the taxpayer, the nobody. It doesn't work when you're at the top level. That's for the peasants. And where else did that happen? Oh, the Roman Empire. The same damn thing happened until it started collapsing. And some people finally got in trouble, and some people finally got put away, ultimately. And that's probably how this is going to end too. It's just going to be a matter of time. So I just can't wait to see what happens to Jon Corzine. How are they going to be able, with his the smoking gun emails guaranteeing he said go ahead and do it. He's now lied under oath. That's a crime. And he stole the money now because he gave the okay to pull it out of the customer accounts, which you're not supposed to do. Therefore, it's not an accounting error. There's another thing. This guy has got to do jail time. And I'd be willing to bet that if Obama doesn't make the next presidency and old Mitt Romney steps in, they'll time this so that he's going to go do 1 day of jail time. Hold on. As they're bringing him into the jail. Hold on. What's that? Turn on the news. President Obama's on his way out, his pardons, like Bill Clinton did, George Bush did, right? They all do. Oh, who's on the... Oh, Jon Corzine. Jon Corzine's let go off. Darn, he didn't even do a day of jail. And Obama will give this big old speech, and, you know, people make mistakes in life, and you gotta, you know, as a Christian, you've gotta forgive and forget, and everyone will be like, well, yeah, I'm a Christian, and yeah, my pastor teaches us to forgive and forget, and he's right, no one got killed over it. I mean, it's just money, and yeah, okay, all right, Obama, go ahead, pardon him away. And that's how that would end, if it goes down like that. Who knows? But I can't wait to see either way. Take care.